52-week study overview of the Bible, not a word for word. And we are on week 4. Our subject for the week is prayer. And we're on the 25th day, but we're on day 4 of this week, and it's James 5:16. I know you can't really see that. I don't know how to fix my problem. Anywho, this week's reflections are: 1, what can you turn into prayer points throughout the week? 2, list 3 people or situations to commit to praying for daily. And 3, designate a spot for prayer. Make it a distraction-free zone. So what they're talking about with prayer points is if you're stopped at a stoplight, you can say a prayer. If you're with a group of people and you're with people that maybe aren't following after Christ like you are, and you need to pray, you just pray in your head. They don't even know you're doing it. So this just trying to turn your prayer into a lifestyle instead of just getting up in the morning, saying a prayer, saying prayers over your meals or whatever, but making prayer a one-on-one conversation with the Lord. That's where this is all leading to. And when you're in a relationship with someone, what do? You have conversation. I have conversation with my friends. I have conversation with my children. I have conversations with my husband. Building relationship, that's what happens. Well, if you start looking at prayer less like an obligatory thing, and you look at it as getting to know a person better and being relaxed in a setting of asking and thanking and all those things and building a relationship, then prayer doesn't lose its importance. If that helps or makes any sense, I'm not sure. I mean, it makes sense in my head, but I'm sometimes the only one that understands me, so there's that. All right, so we're doing, where's my power cord? No momento. Stick that back there. All right, we're going to James 5, verse 16 in the NIV. Let's see. Oh, pages. I don't know what it is about this Bible, but this Bible seems to be easily wrinkled. That drives me batty. All right, where are my glasses? Are they on my head? Nope, they're not on my head. All right. James 5:17 in the NIV says, it's way over here. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do. Nope, that's not it. Just kidding. 5:17. Elijah was a human being even as we are. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain on the land for 3.5 years. Wow, that's a long time for it not to rain. All right, and then in the Message Bible, I'll read verses 16 through 18. Make this your common practice. Confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you can live together whole and healed. The prayer of a person living right with God is something powerful to be reckoned with. Elijah, for instance, human, just like us, prayed hard that it wouldn't rain, and it didn't, not a drop, for 3.5 years. Then he prayed that it would rain, and it did. The showers came, and everything started growing again. I'm going to read to the end of the chapter. My dear friends, if you know people who have wandered off from God's truth, don't write them off. Go after them. Get them back, and you will have rescued precious lives from destruction and prevented an epidemic of wandering from God. Keep those people that are wandering away from the Lord in your prayers. That is key and essential, especially in today's society, because the world is taking our children faster than we can even fathom. AI is taking things to a whole new level, and it gets very confusing. Children don't know which way to go. They don't know what to believe. They don't know. They just don't know, and it's up to us as parents to teach our children those things when they're young so they don't wander away from that. But the world is the world, and when your children become adults, they're adults. They can adult to make their own choices, their own decisions. So sometimes the only thing you can do is pray. Pray consistently for your children. Pray consistently for your friends that have wandered off. Pray consistently for your family members that are not following after the Lord. Pray for salvation. If that's the only thing that you can even fathom to pray about in this season and in this time, is pray for the salvation of those around you. Because the more people that are saved and following after Jesus, the more that can share the gospel story and the more people that can come into the saving grace and knowledge of Jesus Christ. That's what it's all about. It's that domino effect. It's that drop in the water that just keeps bringing rings and rings and rings and rings. But sometimes the Lord's just waiting for us to open up our mouth. And when I do the morning lives, I was really uncertain about doing the salvation prayer because I had it in my head that I couldn't do it as well as everybody else. I had to get out of that box. I had to get out of that mindset because that's just the enemy trying to keep us back. He was trying to keep me back from sharing the salvation prayer. And it is essential for us to be doing that. Remember, we're not responsible for somebody else's emotions. We are only responsible for what the Lord has asked us to do in His Word. When you become saved and you're following after Christ, He says, go out into the world and be a light. That means bringing people into the kingdom, being a fisherman for the Lord. So, all right, that's it in a nutshell. I'll be back on here tomorrow night, or I'm really going to try to do this earlier in the day because we have home group, but I said that last time and I didn't get to do it. So, but I promise they will not forget tomorrow. We'll be on day 5. We'll be on Psalm 66, 18 through 20. So I hope you can join me tomorrow. Until then, have a great night.